Hey guys, still at Fall Creek Falls. I figured I'd go ahead and run the battery down on this camcorder before I call it quits for the day. Still using the Dragon's Heart pick. Right now I've decided to work with the original. And I'm using the actual window back here as a background. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's kind of reflecting the lake and everything. It's a beautiful scene. So I just wanted to go over do a lesson on a song that was written by one of my good friends, Faith Gilbert, from the Gilbert Family, which I play with. She's the one that plays the mandolin on, I uploaded a video not too long ago on the Gilbert Family of us playing. And I've got another one I just finished editing, and by the time you get this video it may already be released. But it's of us playing at the Mount Crest Fall Festival in Pikeville. And it was recorded on October the 10th, 2015. So that may be down the road, it may have already released, I don't know. Now that video does not contain this song. It's the one previously that contains the song, the one where we was actually at Fall Creek Falls here playing the festival, the Mountaineer Festival. So if I'm not mistaken, it's on that one. And you can also find it on their CD if you go to www.thegilbertfam.com and look at their albums. It's on the CD called Master of the Storm, and that's the name of this song. It's Master of the Storm. It's a very beautiful CD, and you guys can definitely share the not just this video, but share all the information about that CD and that song, so that maybe we can get that song charted on some of the radio stations, because it's an amazing song. It'll bless your heart. But I wanted to go over the actual solo that's on the album. And I did my best to replicate that. When I began playing with the Gilbert Family, this was just after they created the CD, so I was not able to be on the album. Instead, it was another guitarist by the name of Nathan Horton did some of these lead licks on the guitar, and I had to go back and kind of replicate their sound. So I did it the best of my ability, the way I play and the way I could do it. And this is what I came up with. And basically, I'm just playing this this D shape. We have a D here, and if you'll take and replace the ring finger with the first finger, and use the ring finger that's kind of free now, put it on the 4th fret of the guitar. Now I'm doing this with a capo, so keep that in mind. The capo is on the 1st fret, so I'm eliminating the 1st fret and calling this the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, even though it's technically the 5th fret. Okay, so put your finger here on the new 4th fret, the ring finger, and now we have this new D shape. And I really emphasize playing with this a lot when it comes to bluegrass, because this really helps a lot, especially when you're key of D. It helps a lot. You get these extra extensions in your fingers that you just couldn't get if you were here. You kind of hindered in this shape, whereas you're liberated with this one. And I advocate that in Bluegrass Guitar Essentials, my course. If you'll check that out at www.bluegrassguitaressentials.com, you can definitely check that out. And I talk a lot more about playing and different things like that. And since I don't have time to tab and do tabs, that's what I created these courses for you to enjoy tabs and chords and things like that, that I put time and dedication into. So there are not going to be any tabs of this or anything like that. You're just going to have to do your best to follow along. And if you need any extra help on picking and everything like that, that's what I created the course for. And also you can slow this video down using the little cog icon, the gear icon, in the lower right hand corner of this video. So if you have any questions, you can slow it down. But let's go ahead and start off with this. I'm starting with this shape. And all I do is just go down. And also on these videos, pay attention to this picking hand, what it's doing, because it's really important to get the picking right. I'm starting with that D string, I'm going down all the way. Upstroke on the E, and then I just pull off that, and then a little vibrato there. It's B, open 2, 3, and just kind of hang around that area there. A little trill, and then sliding up, whole step, and then a nice half step in. back to the 5th fret here, the new 5th fret. Okay, so all together. Okay, and then I'm just doing like a little F shape here. Okay, and that's denoting, if we didn't have the capo, that's denoting the A chord. And then I'm coming down and sliding back from the 4th fret, and then doing a little hybrid picking there on the G and the E string. So the same F shape, but now I'm emphasizing the G and the E string here. You could technically do it with just these 2 fingers, but I usually do a bar. That way, in case I hit it, mess it up and hit that B string, I've got it barred for me. So I'm starting from the 4th fret here, the new 4th fret. Same shape, down the whole step. And then next shape is this A7 shape here. We've got the G and the E string. It's kind of like going up the scale in, I think it's called thirds. Okay, so that's all I'm doing is following the scale. And then I slide up that same F shape, and now we're emphasizing the G. And I'm just messing around with arpeggiating that, breaking that chord up. And then some more picking here, more hybrid picking. So it's going from the G. So, okay. And then I do this different depending on if I'm doing the intro or the little solo thing there. That's the first way to do it. Or, if I'm doing it the second time around, it's more like this. And then you can either do this, F shape again. Okay, and that's open D string. F shape, and I'm not emphasizing the E string at all. I'm kind of muting it with my back 2 fingers here. You can do that if you want to, but I like it's more subtle with just the B and the G string with the E, with the D compared with that. Okay, or you can do this D minor shape. Basically, that's almost like a emphasizing a major 7 sound. This is the D minor shape, but actually this chord, you can look at it like this. That's another way to do it. New D shape. Okay. That emphasizes the lower strings, the more of a balanced tone, whereas this emphasizes the higher strings. Okay. Now, like I said, this emphasizes a major 7 shape, which the actual shape looks like this. But you don't want that, that 3rd fret in there. You want it to still sound like a D chord. So if you're doing this, you lose the open D string. So that's why I typically like this better, because it kind of unifies everything together in the key of D. In this case, D sharp. So let's do that whole thing again really slowly. And typically I do the second time around I go. Going back to the G there. You can do. I usually like to use my pinky here, but this is basically easier with this shape. So if you want to aim for the the second finger hitting here instead of the third finger. That might be best. And if you're on the first fret of the capo, I'm aiming from the middle finger to hit that dot here on the 7th fret, the actual 7th fret. So we got a couple pull-offs there. Go back to that open G, then a pull-off from the 4th to the 2nd, and then off. Same fret here, 4th fret now on the A. Pull off on that D, back to A, back to open D. Okay. I love that combination. I use that a lot more lately than I have before in a long time, or ever. And that is just an A7 with a suspension on it. Usually I don't like the 7th chords in a lot of things, but for some reason the A7 really has a nice, it blends together so that you don't even realize it's the 7th chord. Okay, so it's a very nice combination there. And just some other things I do on this song I like to do, and that is, if you'll think of this as the G, the new G, I typically do this when I'm going from the D to the A, or from the G to the A. Okay. I typically like to go here and play this kind of like it's going to emphasize kind of like a weird A sound. Okay, but I'm going to hit the A string and hit from that's going to be the A, the D, the G, and the B. I'm not going to bar the bottom because it sounds good with that open E. Okay, so then I come up to that where the actual A would be. So I'm going from the G. Then I'm not barring that, I'm going to let that string ring open and just do this diagonal shape of one string, 1 fret back per finger. So if it sounded like this. Okay, so that's just a way to make it sound A, like A. Is going back to that whole step back to that previous chord G, back and sliding up to that actual A. Now the second time around when I do this in the actual solo, I do kind of the same thing, but here I play a little different. So let's hear what that sounds like, and then we'll kind of break that down. That's where I come into the okay. So what I did here is I just strum until I get ready to go to solo. And so I'm already on the D, so I'm hitting that G. And that's a little trio. Slide from the 2nd to the 4th fret, matching that note, and hoping the sun hasn't made your guitar go out of tune. Okay, instead of going, I do that a lot, but lately I've been going. Okay, now I always mess up here and try to hit the D, but we're emphasizing that A. So hit you a bar there so that the A can be ready. Let's see. Let's see. And you have to, if you're leaving that middle finger, to bring it back. Coming down here, you can either slide both fingers up, half step, and come back real quick, or just middle finger. And definitely hit the bar. Don't put this finger down like you were going to that other D, because that'll make it sound weird. And then you just go back to the regular. And the actual picking there. B. That's up, down. Okay, so that is basically it for Master of the Storm. There is one other thing I forgot about. Just remember, when we go to that bridge and it goes, now on each G, I'm going to do a little run to kind of pass the time there. It's kind of a little lull in the song there. And when I go to this, I'm going to aim for, again, as if the capo is not on here. We're going to go to, and I'm going to leave my ring finger, and I'm going to slide that up just past this dot here on the actual 7th fret. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the new 7th fret, okay? And that's going to be on the D string. First finger is going to come back here on the new 7, 6, 5th fret. And what the picking order to get this right, if you can do this with an A minor here, but I think it sounds better doing it up here because everything's ringing out clearly. And that's going to be down on the D, up on the B, and then up on the G. And that's on the part, even when it feels like there's no way out. Even when it feels like there's no way out. Okay, and then there I do a really cool lick that I actually figured out while I was working on the Dragon's Heart sound tests. I was doing a lot of this open string stuff in the key of D, and I kind of experimented with it after I turned the camera off and found this cool lick. And what I'm doing is I'm going to hit the G. Here's the whole lick. Okay, now that's a really cool lick. And that I have enough, and I had to sit there and time it out and figure out the counts. But I have enough time to get to that E minor from this lick. And all I'm going to do is hit that G. And since I'm holding my pinky, I've got to leave my pinky. And I'm going to slide all the way up to that same 7th fret we did with that A minor there. So we're going to come down, 7, 5, 8. And then this is the tricky part. We're going to have to hit an open string, the previous open string we came to each time. So here's the example. So I'm hitting the B, going back to the E, open, G, open B, and that's going down 1 fret. So now we're on the 7th fret again, the new 7th fret. Just stay on the 7th fret. So we hit that open G, in other words, the previous string we just hit. So here's the whole thing. Okay, now when I hit this part, this is the tricky part. You're gonna look at this as whole step first. Okay? And you're gonna look at another whole step, and then half step open. So the actual shape, the actual sound is gonna be. Okay? And the strings that I hit are very important. I don't get it right every time, but here's what I'm aiming for. When I hit this open, the E string on the 7th fret, I don't want to hit the A string again, because it won't sound right. So I've got to skip over the A when I hit this E string and get to the D. And so I'm alternating each time. E, A, E, D, E, A, E, D. Okay? So the whole thing again. Using my middle finger all the way down. Okay, and there's nowhere left to turn. Okay, and that's just coming back to that 7th fret. A lot of this stuff's on the 7th fret. making that little, I call it a split. You're leaving the B string open and you're going to hit the G and the E string, kind of like an A7, but on these next two strings now. A lot of Spanishy hybrid picking. And I'm just barring this F shape again. But you can do it at the bar if you want to. It will sound weird if that beat rings out, so I typically bar that. The second time around. And the next lick I do is usually okay, and all that is, and we'll slide all the way up to that G unison, which is the new 5th fret. I'm just riding back and forth on the D and the G string.